Did You Have To is a proud member of the But Why Tho podcast community.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Did You Have To, the podcast where we look at live action adaptations of your favorite anime. As always, I'm your host, Kate.
And I'm LaNeysha.
And we're here with Adrian.
Hey, how's it going? Very excited to be here.
Thanks.
Yeah. As soon as Kate said that she was doing this podcast, I'm like, I have to come on a couple times because I love me some anime and I love adaptations and I love Dragon Ball and everything Dragon Ball, but I refuse to watch the Evolution movie, so I just let that one pass.
Well, luckily, we did that for you, so you don't ever have to watch it. Just listen to our episode if you were ever curious, our first episode of that hellish movie.
We will
never again. Never.
So, Adrian, just in case people don't know where they can find you, why don't you go ahead and tell them?
Yeah, you can find me on But Why Tho, the podcast that I do with Kate, weekly episodes, and I write a little bit on But Why Tho podcast.com.
Yeah.
And stuff and things.
Stuff and things. He's a Vin Diesel scholar, and
I love it.
Yeah. Think about anything that's ridiculous and seems over the top, and I'll tell you why it's amazing.
That's the kind of energy we need in this world.
Yes, which is why you're the perfect guest
Exactly.
to talk about. To join us today.
Yeah, so before we get into it, we're doing a special episode today. It is an adaptation of sorts, right? Because it's the second Brawly movie, right? So technically it's an adaptation. It falls in our wheelhouse.
We're an anime podcast. I'm gonna be real with y'all. We can do whatever the hell we want. This is our show. So if we want to talk about Dragon Ball Super Broly, we're gonna talk about Dragon Ball Super Broly and any other anime movies that come out that we would like to talk about.
It is decided.
Yes. Anime. If it's anime related, we can do it.
Speaking of which, we want to officially introduce our new section, Crunch Time.
Yes, crunch time! I'm so excited.
Where at the top of every episode, we are going to talk about the anime and manga that we're either reading or watching from Crunchyroll. You want to give your stuff first, LaNeysha?
Yes. Sorry, I have to pull it up.
Oh, you prepare for this section?
Well, I mean, I read manga about every other day. So I thought since I traumatized some folks last time.
I'm about to re-traumatize them, so.
Oh, are we going to talk about Promised Neverland again? Are we going to talk about the Promised Neverland? Oh my God. You first.
Oh gosh.
Forget me. Yes, please.
So, as you heard last time, LaNeysha recommended that y'all go watch The Promised Neverland, which finally made it to anime on Crunchyroll. And I listened to our dear friend LaNeysha. And I'm scarred for life. I've seen the first 2 episodes, which is all that's out right now because they simulcast it. And I really love it, but it also just freaks me out a whole bunch. So, it's good though. But that's what I've been watching. Well, that and I've been rewatching Tokyo Ghoul just for funsies.
Oh yeah, you really.
I did.
Damn. But you're welcome. You're welcome, friend. Welcome to the Promised Neverland.
Oh God. You put that on a shirt.
We are. Yes. It is a great show, and read all the manga because it is awesome. And it's at the core of the story, it is about hope and ingenuity. Really? And hoping you don't become demon food.
It's about hope right now?
I mean, the kids are you gotta have some kind of hope when you realize, oh, my mother, the woman who's raised us and all my siblings all of our lives is actually our herder who's been raising us to be sheep to the slaughter of demons.
Yes, Adrian, this is what LaNeysha brought into my life.
You gotta have some kind of hope to get through that.
Hello?
I don't know what y'all talking about. That sounds super dark.
It's not that dark. It's dark, but it's not that dark. Just watch it. We're gonna have to put
up a poll after this episode's post. How dark is The Promised Neverland?
Come on the scale to Tokyo Ghoul, I'm trying to think of another. To Berserk. It's not that dark.
Just because it's kids doesn't mean it's dark. It's not dark. Just because they're adorable doesn't mean it's not dark.
Makes it more
Adrian.
dark in a way. It sounds like.
I mean, yes.
I expect dark from terrible, like, adults.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's just like, I think what I appreciate from reading the manga, which I know we're only 2 episodes in the anime, is that, like, as you watch it more, you're gonna see, like, oh, these kids are smart as hell. And it's like that, and it's a big game of cat and mouse, and it just the stakes are super high. And it's like they're trying to like play the mom, and the mom is trying to figure out like, was it you? And like we already kind of saw that in the first 2 episodes. So yeah, y'all just keep watching and just think of me.
It is really good though. I now co-sign this, so that's what I've been watching.
Thank you, yay. So yeah, I didn't go that far away from my dark side though. I went ahead and watched Seraph of the End again on Crunchyroll for crunch time. I'm gonna mess that up so many times, but yeah, if y'all aren't familiar with Seraph of the End, after a mysterious virus wipes out 90% of the humanity, vampires emerge from the recesses of the earth to enslave mankind, treating them like livestock.
What?
So
is your brand just livestock anime?
I swear I didn't connect the dots until just now. I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry.
Don't be sorry. Embrace it.
No, I'm not sorry. I typically, and it's weird, I really kind of fell away from animes that featured vampires because I just kind of got sick of it. But this one kind of like, it's usually all the same thing, but I really like this one. Because who doesn't like seeing like really good sword fights with anime? And that's really all I really wanted. Yeah, but the story's great. It's like a post-apocalyptic world. The story gets deeper. Like I've read the manga before. And it's just like one of those things where I'm like, are we ever going to get a season 2 of this? Probably not. So might as well rewatch it again. But it is a great, great show.
Nice. Adrian, what have you been watching or reading?
I haven't read anything manga, fight me, whatever the pronunciation is, in a long time. But I've been watching Hunter x Hunter, kind of binging through that just because I am too connected to the voices in My Hero in the dub to finish it in sub. So in the meantime, I'm watching a lot of Hunter x Hunter because I love shonen anime.
Nice.
How does it like compare? Because like I haven't watched it before, and I've been like putting it off. Like, how does it compare? I guess to like other shonens.
It gives me like some like Yu Yu Hakusho vibes, a little bit in terms of like the different kinds of characters and stuff. I think it's not as good. Like, it's not like I don't think it's like ever going to be an S tier anime. But I'm only a season in. Its first season like isn't as good as like a My Hero. It's good. I enjoy it. The characters are cool. I think Gon is dope. Like that kid is like pure AF. Like I would love to see who's like more pure in like a pure off battle like him or Deku. Like that's like how cool. And is
this the kid with the weird hair?
Is.
The straight up spiky hair.
I don't know.
The main guy.
Yeah, I guess he has straight up spiky hair. I guess weird
That's
hair
fair.
in anime is kind of
so like to contextualize it.
We're about to talk about Dragon Ball where everyone has spiky hair.
That's fair.
I mean, you really only get 2 choices for hair. Does it have a color and is it weird
I'm
shaped?
taking that all back.
Yeah, I mean, and like kind of like the main, I guess, antagonist in the thing is creepy AF. He reminds me of like him from Powerpuff Girls.
Wait,
and like Frieza had a baby.
Is it the guy who looks like Moira? Dude,
yeah,
give
he's
me
creepy
a Moira
AF.
Skin, but make it that guy.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. It's pretty good. I mean, I'd recommend it to anyone who likes shonen anime. Like, it's very kind of like it's very shonen anime is like the easiest way I can explain it. And they've kind of got out of like their first season, kind of like introducing characters, and now it seems like they're more into like the story into the second season with like daddy issues and such. So
nice.
I'm enjoying it.
Q.
I like it. I'm gonna check it out. I know of Hunter x Hunter, but I've never watched it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I just feel like it's you just gotta watch all the animes to be in the know and I just never gave it a chance. But giving it a chance, is pretty good.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I feel the longer, like the larger my Crunchyroll queue keeps getting, the more I'm like, there's so much I need to watch to get all of these memes online.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. That's why I've only watched that. Like, take it in stride. Because if I watch something else, I'm not going to go back to watching it, which is why it took me so long to watch stuff like Food Wars and things, because I watch other stuff. I was like, oh, wait, I really like this other thing. Maybe I should go back to watching that thing.
Cool. Well, I guess the other thing, it's not Crunchyroll, but it is Funimation that we have to talk about now because it's the main reason we're all gathered here. Dragon Ball Super Brawly.
Yes. Whew, y'all. I want this level. I want this energy to continue because I like this movie so much. I went into this being like, it's probably going to be okay. And then I left the movie theaters with just like this feeling of like, I'm so hyped right now. Someone told me when I was walking out, you might become a Brawly fan after you leave. And they're like, y'all was right. I am now a Brawly fan. Words I thought I'd never say because, as we know before in the first Brawly movie, our boy didn't say anything.
Hey, whoa. He said Kakarot a bunch.
That's
all he said.
in the first movie, did he at least say Kakarot?
That's all he said is Kakarot over and over and over again.
And then it's not like, wasn't there a weird movie with Trunks and Goten with Brawly? Yeah. And I'm still confused what happened there. I refuse to try to watch it.
Yeah, Bio Broly is not.
I was gonna say, is it bad that that's what they remember?
Don't watch it. Yeah, it's not the best. I mean, Broly's Second Coming isn't like amazing either, but like it's at least we have our main characters in that. We don't have Goten kind of fighting a slime Bio Broly.
Right? I don't know what was going on in there, and that's just like, nope, turn it off. Because I'm a completionist. I will go back and watch all the Dragon Ball Z. Like, let's start off. I have a complicated relationship with Dragon Ball Z. Is it the best anime ever? No, in my opinion.
I was like, you about
Do I have a soft spot for it? No, listen. It's just like, just because as I've gotten older, I have an appreciation for other anime. I don't do this whole like, oh, it's the greatest of all time. But I'm like, it's nostalgia and it has a soft spot in my heart. But so I will go back and just watch the movies because I love some of them, like Trunks and Bardock.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah, but no, I'm not saying I hate it. I've argued with people on the internet enough times to know not to say that. I'm just saying I have had a complicated relationship with it, but thanks to Dragon Ball Super, I love it so much and appreciate it a lot more.
I mean, I love Dragon Ball Z. Like, it's why it was one of the first episodes we covered on But Why Tho, the podcast. But I'll never argue with anyone. Like, it's older. There are other shows like My Hero that are probably like deeper in like character relationships and stuff like that. But we wouldn't be here without it. So I'll always put it on that S tier status for me. As long as you're not saying Naruto's better than Dragon Ball Z, I'm never going to fight anybody on it.
I'm not arguing with people. I'm not getting into those arguments. I'm not going to do like what's better. I'm like, it is nostalgic. It holds a special place in my heart because it's my gateway anime. It is not trash. I will like, when people try to compare it to other things, I just be like, shut up, son.
It's usually what a lot of it is. It's a lot of my brother's friends. I'm like, you know that the creator like literally just based everything off of Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
and Dragon Ball
like
Z.
you can't.
Like, his words, not mine. Don't.
Yeah, no. I mean, like on top of that, you kind of said it yourself. I know we said in that episode of the podcast of But Why the podcast too. Is just that like Dragon Ball Z solidifies the footprint for shonen, right? Like it makes that the what do you call it? The outline. Right? It makes the outline for what shonen is. I mean, and it gives us, you know, the shonen rival versus an actual like villain type, right? It shows us like our main character being like pretty much just pure in like almost all ways and like a little bit dumb, but also super powerful. Yeah. And I would personally say that my appreciation for shonen's always been there, but I definitely think over the last few years it's gone up a lot, and just my appreciation over like different genre of animes have gone up for a lot. I've always loved Dragon Ball Z, but I will say this, like I haven't always been in love with all of the characters of Dragon Ball Z, but
Yeah.
watching this movie,
I think that's very accurate.
like I want to, because I'm only about 16 episodes into Dragon Ball Super, like just to put that out there, like I'm like probably the least knowledgeable on Dragon Ball, the Dragon Ball franchise up to this point, because I just fell out of it. But watching Super Brawly, I was like, dude, I have to appreciate Goku. I'm always gonna appreciate Goku because he reminds me a hell of a lot of Serena from Sailor Moon, like. In all honesty, like
so true,
like
though.
That same character type, like really caring,
Yes.
kind of ditzy, but's gonna whoop your ass.
Yeah. Yes. All of that. And I mean, I really got back into Dragon Ball Z because of like Dragon Ball Super. Like it made me like want to go back and revisit some certain arcs. And like the great thing about it is that like it diverges because they're literally in an alternate. Is it alternate or parallel?
It's because they
Alternate, right?
erased
Timeline.
Majin Buu's memory, so I think it creates a different time.
Well, there's like different. It's different universe. It's not really.
Yeah.
It's because there's like multiple universes. I think it's a big universal tournament thing. But
Thank you.
I would say they're parallel because or divergent. I don't.
It's like you. It's like when you see the line. It's like when you draw that line and it diverges one of the paths, and like so.
But it's also the same. Like.
Yeah. But I like that because I'm like I hated Dragon Ball GT.
I was gonna ask. So I'm assuming, especially after this movie, they diverge because they need to erase Dragon Ball GT from memory, correct?
Oh, I hope that was the entire plan for making Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, introducing. That's definitely like the plan from the beginning. Like even from the first movie that came out with like Beerus, like they basically just they hard reset everything that happened in GT, and even gave us like a little bit of it in the Broly movie. So like in my opinion, they just none of it is even ever going to come back, but just in like
I hope so.
It's like it does in Broly.
Yeah, which is a great way to segue of like this reset did our boy Broly right.
He was so deep.
Much better.
He was so deep. Like I think the beginning of the movie. Also, if you haven't watched Super Brawly yet, there's gonna be spoilers. Just saying that now.
Yeah.
They did. I loved the beginning. I just loved the beginning.
Yes.
You get to see all three of our main guys, like, and what their background is. A little bit.
Yeah.
And then I also just really loved that they made Brawly like the extremely, extremely, extremely sympathetic character. Like, I'm in love with this man.
A villain that has a heart.
He's not even a villain.
And he's not even really a villain.
Out of his own volition.
Right? And I will give Goku some credit here. He actually said, I don't think you're our enemy. Instead of like just jumping in. Like granted, Goku sees the good in everyone. But it's just like, that's something, it was nice to like see him like say that, I don't think, like trying to talk him down from fighting at one point in the scene. I was just like, I appreciate this so much. Look at this character growth. Look at Goku thinking. I like this. More of this. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. But I loved seeing like the beginning part where like we get all like a little background and like the most we've ever probably seen of like Planet Vegeta since like Bardock, and I think like it was even better than that. And I have to go. I like y'all say some stuff too.
Adrian say
before
some stuff.
I like talk the whole time. Yeah, Adrian.
I thought the beginning was really good. Getting more of like Planet Vegeta, and this movie just kind of like I don't know. Is retcon the right word, Kate? Like they just changed
I think
the
it is.
backgrounds on different characters. Like Bardock is like not the same Bardock. As in his own movie. Goku's origin is like a little bit different. We even get to see like baby Vegeta.
He was so adorable.
So like it's
baby Vegeta.
Or I guess like Kid Vegeta, I guess, which is also like super weird seeing Kid Vegeta and Kid Raditz. But like the whole beginning of the movie's cool because it kind of sets the tone.
So
usually in
cute.
these kind of like bang bang Dragon Ball Z movies, I guess like with the exception of like the last few. I mean, they just kind of get into the action, and you're just supposed to know like what happened in the past. And they kind of give what I like the most about it is that if I took someone who's like never seen Dragon Ball Z or maybe even like Super, they're caught up. Like you don't need to know what happened in any of the things. Like these are our characters, and this is who's fighting. Which I
was gonna say that too, Adrian. Like I completely agree. Like I think the fact that this was in theaters. and like I think that that is going to help an entire new generation of Dragon Ball fans to come into it. And maybe even just like random people who may have I mean, everybody knows what Dragon Ball Z is. I feel like that's a safe thing to say. Like, even if they've never watched it.
Yeah.
But I think you're absolutely right, Adrian. Like, you can go into this movie, watch it, and enjoy it without knowing anything really. That's beautiful. Like,
for sure.
I'm happy it got a theater release in the States, because I think that just means that it's gonna help stuff get even more mainstream than it's already becoming.
Yeah, the theater releases are great. I mean, I remember when I went to go see Battle of the Gods when it first came out, and like it's kind of like that new introduction of them getting ready for Super, and it was awesome. Like, it's the first time in my memory, I don't know if anything else had come into theaters before that, but even Battle of the Gods, Resurrection F, and then this are awesome to see in theaters. Like, I'll always go see these movies in theaters just because it's an experience to watch Goku, Vegeta, all these other characters on the big screen. And I hope this one, because the Battle of Gods, Resurrection F probably give you you need a little bit more background on stuff, but Broly I think is like the complete package of giving everybody the background and then going from there. I think, and its length too, because it's a little bit longer than the other movies. Movie. So I think they nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was legit, like how we got to see each of their backgrounds and see how the dang it, what was I gonna say? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay.
No,
there's a lot
I'm just
going
saying
on in this movie.
Yes, but but the biggest thing for me is actually, like you guys said, I know I'm kind of repeating what you said, but having that background build up is so different from previous movies, because in previous ones we never really got a background on a character, maybe at 5 minutes. I was waiting for them to just super cut already to the main characters to present date, but I was surprised we got as much time as we did with that whole we got to see King Vegeta, we got to see Bardock, we got to see Goku's mom, and I was just the whole time where's Vegeta's mom? I need to see this too. There's gotta be a reason why
I'm guessing so short and his dad was so tall. I gotta see that.
Right, but I'm guessing we don't get to see. I guess he doesn't have a mom. I guess he's just a clone that came out too early, and that's why he's short.
My poor baby.
That's fine. He needs a mom. That's why he's messed up. But anyways, and then you see all this stuff is building up, and it actually had a reason. I think there's it actually had a purpose. I do like the retcon of Bardock not having a vision of Planet Vegeta being destroyed, but actually that he just used his intuition or his thinking skills to be this is suspect. Why does Frieza want all of us home? He probably wants to kill us all.
Bardock's death too. That
right?
was so good.
He still tried.
Yeah, and it also, I guess, too, also I think the way they did Bardock here, it also gives you some insight into who, why Goku is the way he is, right? His dad wasn't a typical Saiyan, so of course he's not a typical Saiyan, from what this movie sets up.
And his mom too. I feel adds a credit to the way Goku is. From the little bit we see of them, of just seeing oh my god, they actually care about their children. They at least know well, at least Raditz is safe wherever the hell he is. But this one, we got to get him the hell out of here. And that's the whole scene where they're saying goodbye, the very Superman-esque scene of them saying goodbye to him, kind of got me. I'm I didn't come here for feelings. I came here for fighting. What is this? We'll come and find you, son. I'm no, you won't. This is too much.
But the supercut from there is pretty good. I really enjoy the time, that 40-year time jump where they give you Dragon Ball and then kind of back to the present day. It was super good because you don't need a whole long montage of that stuff. You can do it in 5 seconds
in my head.
And
get
those
in my head, I was
across.
so we're gonna see him hit his head again? What's happening? And then it went to that montage. Okay, I'm good. This is good.
I like that.
The emotional stuff in the beginning. I think my other favorite thing about this, outside of the action, right? Because Dragon Ball Z has some of the best action sequences. Or Dragon Ball in general as a franchise has some of the best action sequences, and I think they were amazing in Super Broly. But I think the other thing that I really loved is just the comedic moments and how good they are. I think one of my favorite ones is kind of just realizing how superficial the Dragon Balls are, because Bulma can find them whenever she wants.
Yeah, ship has sailed on the Dragon Balls. Like, they just get them to just do dumb stuff.
I mean, she literally in Dragon Ball Super, like, oh, as a prize for my birthday bingo party, whatever.
Yeah,
The Dragon Balls.
Ridiculous.
And all I can think about is like, yeah, no wonder she always has a Dragon Ball. She has a son and a husband who can fly super fast around the world and get them for her. Shit, yeah, she's always going to have these things and she's going to use them to her disposal. So, like, but can we appreciate the petty of her?
Well, that's what I was going to say. I was like, that is like my
wishes.
favorite comedic moment of this entire movie is because Bulma says, I want to look 5 years younger. And they're like, why not go all out for 10? She's like, because then people will notice. I want, and I don't want that. And then they ask, huh?
You know.
I was like, and then they ask, go ahead. They asked Frieza why he wants the Dragon Balls, which he's gonna make, and like there's like this ominous freaking music playing in the background, and he's just like, I want to become 5 centimeters taller.
5 centimeters.
Why not 10? Because I want people to think I'm still growing.
It's been 40 years, Frieza. You ain't growing no more. But I just have a quick thing to say that I've always wanted to say. Like, I want someone to acknowledge in Dragon Ball. Why the hell haven't they wished for Chi-Chi and Bulma to age like the Saiyans?
Oh. Yeah.
Or why get the Dragon Balls and wish to be 5 years younger when you could just wish I was a Saiyan, or I wish I aged like a Saiyan?
Is that within Shenron's power?
I feel like it should be. He can bring people back to life. I'm sorry, nothing got loud. I'm like, he could bring people back to life. I feel like he should be able to change their species.
I mean, I don't know if it was species, but like, I know that in, the previous movies for, with Frieza wanted to like live forever. Vegeta wanted to like live forever. So like, there's just people, I think he could do it. I don't know. I guess no one's gotten to the point where they can ask him because they always get foiled. So I guess we haven't really seen that part yet. But if you can bring people alive, why can't you keep them alive forever?
True. It's like, that is like a theme. It's like everyone's immortality. And then like, I love how Frieza kind of acknowledges, like, it does me no good if I constantly lose. Like, you're just going to continue constantly, you won't be able to die. You won't be able to, like, escape the suffering. You're just going to keep losing and be immortal. I think that sounds like a worse than death.
Also, like, Frieza's hell is, like, the best depiction of hell I've ever seen in anything ever.
He's like a little baby in a cocoon on a tree.
All those woodland creatures dancing around him.
Oh my god. That was priceless. I was just like, this is hell? I'm like, I guess it's your hell.
And I think the other thing I'm really in love with, too, is just the dynamic between Vegeta and Goku. Like, it's that whole proper rival thing in Shonen, right? Like, they're just polar opposites of each other, and it just works so well. And I want to know how the voice actors, like, deliver those things to each other, right? Like, I want to know how they match that up. Because my favorite scene is where they learn to fusion dance. And Vegeta's just like, I'd rather Broly killed me. And he's like, you would let your beautiful, or your beloved Bulma die? And he's just like, well, fine. We can. And he learned to dance. Like, I just thought it was adorable.
Can we talk about how he mentioned, like, you'll let your daughter and your wife die? I'm like, what about Trunks?
They did forget about Trunks.
Do we still shit on Trunks? Like, what about Trunks?
Yeah.
But I get it, because Bola is the new baby, and he loves her. He loves his little baby girl. So cute. But no, I agree. Like, the dynamic that, like, voice actors have together is something I really love. Like, there's the scene where, like, Goku and Vegeta realize, oh, shit, we cannot beat him. And they're like, I think Goku says to Vegeta, like, let's do it. He's like, yep. And then they, like, basically leave Broly to Frieza. Yep. Like, Frieza, have fun. And
Frieza got his ass whooped for, like, an hour.
That was
like an hour straight. Just getting
punched into a mountain.
It just really shows, like, how strong Frieza actually is.
Really?
Like
this is
dumpstered
amazing.
for an hour.
Frieza's
Oh, God. That was amazing. I was just like, oh, and that was funny. Like, so much comedic timing was done well with this. Like,
and it's like the little things like that, because this obviously, like, this is like the point where I was like, all right, they just said forget GT, because we don't see
thank God.
We don't see Gogeta with the exception of like Fusion Reborn, but none of the movies really have any canon merit anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, cool. So Vegeta has no idea how to do the fusion dance, so we don't care about GT anymore. But they still did the fusion dance, and like they still messed it up the same way
Yes.
Goten and Trunks did. So you still have like those little callbacks to other Dragon Ball Z things, which I thought was the best part of that comedic
I also
timing.
want a Funko Pop of their first fusion incarnation. Pig looking Gogeta.
Fat Gita or Fat Gogeta, whatever it was. And that was hilarious.
Oh,
There's like, no, I just like, I love like Piccolo just like telling them like, wrong, do it again. Like his judging, like I put out that tweet of just like lip sync until you lip sync for your lives, because Vegeta's doing like basically I don't know what Vegeta's doing. He's trying. He's doing the most.
He's trying his hardest, ma'am. I also just love. He's love doing the most. Before when he mimics like the dance movements, and I just want that as a picture so I can put that on everything. Like it needs to be made.
I have that.
Please, someone.
Well, I found it on. Yeah, I made the tweet.
I don't remember you making the tweet. I was also at a convention
just made it
for 3 days.
I'ma send
so Twitter is a blur for me.
I found it on Google and I had to make it a meme of it immediately because I'm a troll like that. And I love Vegeta. Oh, but yeah, that was so good.
Yeah, Adrian, do you have like a favorite moment out of anything?
I don't know if I have a favorite. I mean, it was all just like kind of good. I mean, I just liked all of the storytelling aspects of it. Like, I don't know if I have like a favorite one. I think it was just all good. Like, there's nothing I didn't like. Like, the music was a little weird, but I think that's just like a product of the dubbing. But everything else was good. Like, I enjoyed it through and through. From Bardock being retold, I guess again. To like the fight scenes were good. God damn it, what's the move called? I'm gonna look at the move. I forget.
The one where they both do the spear palm together.
Or their signature moves. Which one? Because there's the one where they're like back to back, like buddy cops. We're gonna call it buddy cop move.
That was good. Oh my god, I was like remembering what it was earlier.
I just said that you knew the most about Dragon Ball out of anybody I knew. Adrian, don't let me down.
In my defense, like this move is from goddamn Fusion Reborn and GT. Like that's so I was so surprised that it even came up. The Stardust Fall move, like where they're like throwing the like towards the end of the movie where they're throwing the balls at him. And those are the moves that they use to like kill like Omega Shenron and like bad people. So it shows that like Broly's like pure of heart. It's like a subtle nod to like he's not just some mindless killing machine, kind of like how he is in the other one. So like him being able to survive the Stardust Fall shows that he's good and gives us like hopefully more Broly with like actual character development. Just by throwing in little things like that, because they didn't have to put in a rainbow ball, attack there because. If you didn't watch DT or the Fusion Reborn movie, you might not have known about it. But they put it in there just to kind of give those little nods.
And I guess that's really good too, because that means if they're pulling, I would assume whatever little thing they're pulling from GT era means that that's what they're making canon, right? Like those are the things they're saving.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Even like Broly's like first transformation, and I'm using like bunny quotes because like where his Paragus is like, oh, he's channeling the power of the Great Apes. That's basically like what Super Saiyan 4 was essentially. So like giving nods to that too. So they're killing it, but taking like the best parts from it, which I think are super cool. And like a nod to like giving this back to the guy who made it and letting it go from there.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think too, like for those of you who don't know, Akira Toriyama had nothing to do with GT. So he got to write these characters this time.
Thank God. And I mean, like, I think that really shows like he cares about his characters more than they cared about them in GT. I mean, I don't know. I'm being very mean to people over GT. I don't know what goes into writing an anime.
I've never met a person who liked GT. So I think you're safe.
Okay, thank God. I could not get, and I tried. I watched the whole season. I could not, and I hated how it ended, and I hated how it started. But I appreciate that, like, this kind of resets that, and I'm like, I really do want more Broly in Chile. We're gonna get we have to talk about Chile in a little bit.
Talk about it now.
Oh my god, I love Chile so much. I am her, she is me, and I ship her and Broly. I did not mean for that to rhyme, but it did. I just love them so much because, oh my god, first of all, Saiyans have a type. She is abrasive and gung-ho. Like, she has some balls to steal the Dragon Balls from Frieza.
Chi-Chi, Bulma, and her.
In Chile, they can have tea together. And she's just like, she's not scared. Like... And I appreciate, like, whenever I see a female character in Dragon Ball Z, I get immediately excited. I'm like, oh my god, please have identity. Please have identity. And it's just like, because we get Android 18, and we kind of have that with Bulma and Chi-Chi. So for the most part, they have character development, and they have an identity. But it's nice to see in a Dragon Ball Z movie, Dragon Ball Super movie, I was not expecting a female character to have actual motives and identity and purpose. And I got that, and I was just really, really happy. Like, she's the one that saves Broly.
Yeah, I think that's, like, the strong point of the movie, right? Like, it's an anime movie, and anime movies, like, across the board, like, not even just, like, Dragon Ball movies, but, like, anime movies in general are usually just, they usually don't tie in too much into what's happening, so you don't need to, like, do any big character development things. It's a lot of big action stuff. Like, if you look at the Bleach or the Inuyasha ones, like, that's definitely how it is. Like, and for this, I think the big strong point is just the damn characters themselves. Like, it's not just a mindless movie, which is great. Well, I mean, it would have been fun if it was just, like, them pounding on Broly for a while, but we got a lot more, so.
I mean, well, wait, sorry, since you said pounding on Broly and everything, made me remember one more thing. Well, I'm going to talk more about stuff, but the fight scenes, this was a whole new level. I mean, like, I don't think I've seen them, like, animate fight scenes like this. I mean, then, like, you're in the point of view of Broly taking Vegeta through a mountain.
Yeah.
Like that scene, or, like, when the interdimensional punch, when Gogeta, was it Gogeta? Yeah. I can't remember because I think they call
Gogeta was
themselves.
like, what the hell is going on?
Yes. And I was just like, did they just, like, Superboy this shit? Like, did they punch through the universe and they are interdimensionally fighting? Like, what? Because it took me a moment to think, like, what is going on? Did they punch each other so hard they broke time and space?
And they turned the damn ice continent into, like, a lava place.
That can't be good for the environment.
Climate change.
I was saying the same thing. Did this movie just this movie just promote climate change?
I think it did. I think it did. Oh, but I mean, like, and Bulma and, like, Whis are just somewhere off the whole time, not dead by because Bulma's with Whis. That's probably why she's not dead. But
although
that was just like, I love the fight scenes.
I think it's after Broly. I think he shoots something, and you can see Vegeta in the back, like, picking up Bulma, like, keeping her from falling off the edge. I thought that was cool.
Yes. It's just like, oh, he loves his wife. He's not, like, a dick anymore like he was in, like, so many other sagas ago. Vegeta would have been like, well, she shouldn't have been a weakling.
If only she could fly.
Oh well, no, but yeah, I think that's, like, something I was, like, super impressed with. Is, like, the fights animation, the animation in general. I mean, like, granted, it's a movie, so you expect, like, a little extra from, like, the animation you get from, like, a single episode, but, like, I just loved it, like, so much more. I don't know how else to describe it. Just, like, the way they moved felt different from when I watched an episode of Dragon Ball Super. Like, it just felt really. I have to use the word
it was
besides
clean.
good.
Like, it was clean animation. There was no jumping. There were no, like, weird things happening. Like, it was all just really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. and you got to see them fight, like, so many times, like, kind of in the later parts of, like, Dragon Ball Z, like, it's just like, oh, we can't even see their fight because they're moving so fast. But what a good thing that Super does, and they translate this into this thing, is, like, letting us see them fight the whole time, even if it's just punches and kicks, and even some of the moves are crazy. Like, we're one of the ones where Broly's coming down onto Goku, and Goku kind of, like, he gets on it, like, handstand flips and like kicks him. I was like, oh, that was solid. Like that took time and effort. He just didn't move out of the way. Like they animated him doing one of those flip kicks up, and it was pretty good. And there was like a bunch of that stuff through the movie. And then even at the end, like the Gogeta Kamehameha wave was beautifully done.
I also really liked it when Brawly got all Hulk and just like slammed Goku back and forth.
Yes,
that was brutal. Oh. That was brutal.
The whole time,
and
I was just
when
like,
I realized
damn.
that, like, or not realized, I guess remembered that Piccolo is pretty much the dad of like everybody, not just Gohan. Like he's just everybody's dad. He man.
He still has that guardian DNA in him, man. He just wants to make sure that everybody's okay.
He's like, what the hell are y'all doing up there? I can hear you.
You good? I don't think you're good.
And then, can we talk about the responsibility of everyone? It's like, did you bring any sensu beans? No, I thought you did. Like, does no one bring sensu beans anymore? No one? So you all just fine with dying. Okay, fine. I mean, Goku's done it enough times, so I'm sure he's fine. Oh, but yeah, and that was great. Like the Piccolo scene, because I was like, yay, my boy Piccolo. We get to see a little bit of him.
Going back to the beginning, but I also just really liked it when Trunks called Bulma.
No, you're fine.
That little break-in was good.
Well, it was kind of funny when she's like, well, what does he want? He's your son, ma'am.
Yeah, I was like, since when does Chi-Chi, since when does Bulma just mean to Trunks? Like, what is this?
Why is everyone shitting on Trunks? He didn't do anything yet. I don't know what he did.
Poor kid, man. He's just living his life. He's not supervised.
They're on a tropical
Why isn't he there on... Yeah, why is he not there on the vacation tropical island? Like, what is going on?
Oh, gosh. Poor Trunks.
Oh, who knows? They're just like, we're just going to leave we're going to leave the boy behind. We have a girl now. We can just, like, forget about Trunks.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh, poor baby Trunks. I mean, I really don't care about Trunks until he becomes until he becomes future Trunks. Yeah, so I feel bad saying that, but it's true. So, not sorry. But no, that was great. Like, did I already say it? I think I might have said it before we started recording, but like going back to the beginning, like, I think because again, I like the whole making this movie canon. How we ask Goku, like, what's your reason for, like, wanting to, like, have this, like, keep fighting and pushing yourself? Like, why are you guys pushing yourself so much? And Goku's like, no, the what is it, universe of power, the tournament of power, tournament really got my blood pumping. I want to fight more people like that. And they're like, oh, you want to be a destroyer? He's just like, no, I just want to keep fighting and be better and challenge myself. And I'm like, typical Goku. Okay, cool. And then Vegeta's just like, I'm doing it because I want to make sure we don't die when Frieza comes back.
It is nice to see him have like a kind of pure motive, right? Granted, like it is also pretty fueled by revenge. So
pretty much, true. It is pretty much fueled by revenge, but it's just like, yeah, no, I mean, he killed you and all your people and your daddy. So so next time. And he did say that, like, well, you brought him back to life,
but
and
he helped us.
And Goku always is the one that kills Frieza. I'm just like, yeah, but he's also alive again, so he's going to come back somehow, and it's gonna be bad. Which I'm fine with, like, Frieza being like the Elmer Fudd to them, like, constantly just coming back, and if he's gonna be like, that's gonna be his role in these movies or whatever, to just like keep coming back and have some kind of scheme for the Dragon Balls, which he could just kill them, but I guess he could just blow up the planet, but I guess he won't because of the Dragon Balls. But
yeah,
I don't know. I questioned that. I'm like, oh yeah, Vegeta makes a great point. He could come back and kill them all. And then he's like, oh no, I'm coming back for the Dragon Balls to make myself taller. So it's just, I love.
I mean, I think that really ties into like the end, right? Like, essentially, like, Frieza is this vehicle to finally get Goku someone stronger to fight against. Like,
yes, because it's not even him. They never even fought Frieza,
and like,
they're just.
Yeah, because Frieza even knew. Like, as soon as Gogeta grabbed him, he's like, shit. Yeah, you just smacked up on Broly, and Broly smacked up on me for an entire hour. So this probably is not going to go very well for me.
Which I just don't know how. Frieza's thinking process. I know he's a villain, But killing Broly's father to make Broly go more insane. What was going to be your exit strategy, my dude?
I think he just, like, I also just really love that they use Krillin dying. But,
yes!
Like, I think it was just because he was hoping that, like, that Broly would take him out. He didn't know that it was gonna, turn on him.
But he didn't think. But he don't think that far ahead for someone who's supposed to be like this.
It's because he thinks so much of himself,
Frieza has
though,
some
right?
intelligence.
Because he even turns into gold Frieza, and he's like, "You don't know what you've just done," and then he gets smashed into a wall again. Like he just.
Yeah, it's just like in like Resurrection F. Like as soon as he achieved gold status, he ran over there. He's like, "All right, now I'm gonna go smack up on him." And it just didn't work because he just, like, as soon as he gets something, he doesn't think far enough ahead. That's, like, the biggest problem here. Because I know, like, he thinks, oh, okay, well, I'll just get Broly. But, like, my dude, you achieved what Goku did in 6 months that he trained 15 years to do. Yeah. Just go train for a year, and then you'd be able to go back and kill both of them. But he's
train. What is that? Frieza
exactly.
Don't train.
He just doesn't want to train. He's like, all right, I'll just leave Broly alone for a little
hard
bit.
work, right? That kind of like irritated
everything.
Me. He's just like, I'll let them domesticate him. Do you think that he'll listen to you once if you threaten his friends? Do you think he's gonna let you get close enough to
Speaking
get
of
to his friends? Which I think. Yeah.
I choked up a little bit when he told the story about Ba.
Yes, Ba's ear.
Oh.
That was so cute.
Oh, my heart. And so
Baby Broly.
Yeah,
I need a Funko Pop.
He's going to offend the hell out of his friends.
Yeah. Which I'm just like, I'm glad that, Broly's dad is dead. I didn't care. I was waiting for him to die. I thought Broly was going to do it, honestly. But, putting a shock collar around your son since he was probably a baby is some bullshit. And then you're going to take away his giant green cat monster friend
sad.
Because you said he couldn't play. He's the only child on the planet, damn it. He needs to play with something.
An epilogue, like a nice 15-minute epilogue where like adult Broly and the green and Ba are like friends again because his dad ain't there. That's all I really want.
Oh, which I was kind of laughing because I'm like, when I saw the green thing, I didn't even think what the green thing was. I was like, it's just probably some fur. I'm like, at first I thought, oh shit, Broly got old enough and he went and killed one of those things. So he wears it like a trophy. And then they proved me wrong when he tells the story about Azir. I'm like, oh wow, Broly has a heart of gold. He's pure. He's so pure. He's a gentle little cimarron.
Yeah, they even said anything like, this is the most you've ever said ever. And like, I felt like it was like semi-fourth wall breaking. It's like, this is the most he's ever said in any movie ever.
Ever. These are the most lines we've ever seen him talk. This is the most
character development you're ever going to get.
The most emotions we have ever seen. Ever. And that's a lot. Because I think if I had to go back and rewatch the original one, I would hate it. I already hate it. Because it's not that good. It's very straightforward, like most Dragon Ball Z movies. But I'm not going to get to that. The point is, comparing this to that, it's just like, this is leaps and bounds better. Like, I like that the villain isn't even really a villain. And it's done in a really good way, where it's like, Broly has never asked to be a machine for death. But he just knows what's in his instincts. He knows to fight. But then at the same time, his father used him as a tool of revenge for King Vegeta. Yeah. And that just led over to Vegeta, which doesn't make much sense. Which, like, you have to pay for the sins of your father. Like, bitch, I wasn't even on the planet either. I didn't know what my father did. I had nothing to do with this. But then the irony is that had King Vegeta probably left Broly alone and kept him on, like, Planet Vegeta, they might have had a chance to survive. I think like, because by then, like, 5 years, so Broly would have been about 6. Who knows how strong Broly is? Would have been at 6 years old. He's strong enough to survive on a planet by himself for at least a few days on his own. So who's to say that wouldn't have been a difference, or like, you realize, oh, this is probably why the Saiyans are weaker under Frieza, because you get rid of the strongest ones because of your pride, and you send them off to another planet because you feel threatened, and your pride in your son is threatened. I'm like, or you could just keep the strongest Saiyans around and build up a stronger army.
That's fair.
But yeah,
the politics. But that would with Nisha.
Oh my God, I would make that a segment. But now, I mean, the plan, it would be super short because they all did now.
None of it worked.
None of it worked because of pride. That is probably a motto on their flag.
So,
Pride.
I mean,
Never heard
so I
of
mean, like, overall, like, the ending, I do know, like, I read a couple of reviews. I know the one on the But Why Tho podcast website also said that, you know, they had a problem with the end. Like, did y'all have a problem with the end? That it was just so, like, well, we saved him. It's done. Like, there wasn't, you know, nobody really died. Like,
No, I mean, I thought the end was fine. Like, I think because it sets up more things. Like, if they ever decide to bring Super back or whatever, you have like that line there. If they decide, if they see the money from this and decide to go full movies, I mean, they can go that direction with this. And then the ending was great. Like, you had like the comedic thing of Goku knowing
so
what repugnant
good.
means.
yes.
And then
Learning.
him saying that he can call him Kakarot. Like, the only other person who Goku sees as like a true rival is Vegeta, and he's the only other one who can call him Kakarot. And he says Broly can do it. Like, that's major implications for like how this movie should have ended. I mean, what did you want? Did you want like a legendary Super Saiyan Broly movie, like where he crushes his dad in a pod and then blows up on New Vegeta? Like, where did you think it was going to go after you had all this character development for him? Like, I don't think it could have ended any other way.
I agree. And I'm like, that's kind of like what I'm hoping for, is because, you know, like there's more room for like growth with the character, the way they set it up at the end. I could definitely see Broly, if they, like you said, if Super comes back, or like, isn't there like a Super Dragon Ball Heroes? Isn't that like is that a spinoff of Super? Or whatever they're doing. I have no idea what they're doing over there, but I feel like this just opens up the doors for more things, because I feel like Dragon Ball Z isn't ending, like, or Dragon Ball Super isn't ending. Like,
yeah.
I feel like there's more to be told. Like, you just introduced the multiverse, and you kind of like, they keep it kind of open where it's like, well, we can do another movie, we can do another season, another series or whatever with these characters. Like, there's so much more you can do with it. And I think that's really cool. Like, especially if they could bring back like the character, like Broly and Chile and whatever the third guy's name was. I mean, I liked him too, but I'm like, he's not that memorable.
The old guy.
Chile, I'm on. Yeah, the old guy. I'm Team Chile for life. But like, that'd be cool to see them like even come into like a series and not just in the movies. But I'm fine with it. It didn't have to be an ending where the supposed villain died. It like, and that's like kind of like what I liked it. I mean, I'm sure I've seen some people say it was anticlimactic. Like, what was the point of all of this? I'm just like, character growth and opportunity to sell more tickets later on down the line, and I'm here for it.
I agree.
Yeah, because I went into it like as soon as, because I haven't finished Super yet, like, because I'm not like I'm a dub purist, but like I can't watch. I've never been able to watch Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super in sub.
The voices are weird.
I'm too connected to the voices. I've met like talking about like it just doesn't work for me. So like when he said, "Oh, Frieza's back," I was like, "God damn it, again!" Like, again with Frieza, but the voice acting in this was so good, and Frieza just showed like different elements where I'm okay seeing Frieza again, even if like they just kind of let him off the hook. I'm surprised they didn't like beat his ass a little bit more. Like I know I know like Goku's part of that, but like I'm pretty sure Vegeta would like to slap him around a little bit.
Just a bit. I just for once, and I know technically this counts because they were like fused together, that Vegeta also won and he's on the same tier. But I want for once in the Dragon Ball Z movie or Dragon Ball Super, whatever movie, to like Vegeta to be the one to be the hero. I just for once, can we just have not where he gives his last of his energy to Goku to do the Spirit Bomb to save everyone. I want Vegeta to be the one to deliver the final blow. And that's it. And they could end that way. But I mean, I think the direction, that's another thing I want to add. The direction of where they're going, of like Goku and Vegeta are working together as a team, and combined their efforts, they can like do the impossible, or like they can overcome anything. So it's not really competing for who's the strongest anymore, because they're both in the same tier. Yeah, they're a team, and they're finally working together. And I like that. For sure. Oh, and I'm sorry. I just want to clarify. When I said the voices are weird, I don't mean it because it's in another language. I'm not discrediting the Japanese voice actors. Please don't at me. It's just because in the Japanese version, which I've watched a bunch of times, Goku's voice is much higher, and I think Vegeta's voice is higher. And I think
Frieza sounds like a gangster thug.
Yeah, it's hard, and it's like, and I think it's just like, is it cognitive dissonance? No, I think that's the wrong word. It's just like, I'm not gonna think of the psychological meaning behind it, but it's just like when you're introduced to your version first. Yeah. That is the staple. So it's very hard when you hear like something else. Like if I hear Goku's voice and like I think it's supposed to be like not deep and it's not supposed to be like high pitched. But then when I hear it, I'm just like, oh, that sounds odd. But it's like when I watched Fairy Tail, when I used to watch Fairy Tail a long time ago, I think I was introduced to the sub first, and then when I heard like the English dub, I was like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah, I think it's whatever you hear first. So, like, Food Wars, I can't watch the dub version of Food Wars because I think it's terrible. Very terrible. But the sub is great. I can't watch the dub. But I think it is that connection. So, like, when Dragon Ball Super was out, I waited so long for the dub to come out. And I'm glad I did because, like, in the very first season the very first saga where Goku's fighting Hit, and Hit's voiced by Matthew Mercer, who, if you've listened to our Critical Role episode, he's the DM, Dungeon Master, and does a bunch of voice acting. And watching him and Stephen Shamel, who I've met, and is super nice guy, and we had that interaction before I watched it, it just meant more. I felt more watching that scene. I don't know if it would have been the same if I would have binged the sub to be caught up. So
yeah, no, I mean, I think.
Long way to say I really love Frieza's voice acting and I want more of Frieza.
I think I completely agree. Like it's like for me, Dragon Ball is that level of like Cowboy Bebop. Like I'm never gonna watch Cowboy Bebop subbed. Never, ever. Never gonna watch those in it. And Frieza's.
I mean,
go ahead.
Christopher.
I was gonna say,
I
think you're completely right. I love Frieza in this. And there's just something about like here, like these are voices that we have heard, like the voice, like you can't separate the voice from the franchise. Like the same way that I'm sure Japanese viewers this are like, this is my Goku or this is my Vegeta. That's how I am with Christopher Sabat and Sean. I forgot his last name. Shamel. There you go. Yeah.
Shamel.
But no, that's what I was about to say. Like Christopher Sabat's voice, like in Vegeta alone is iconic. Like that, there will never be another voice of Vegeta, and he knows that. We will never replace him ever. He's forever going to be Vegeta's voice. But it's like Kevin Conroy with Batman, with the animated Batman series. That is that tier of like what I connect when I hear that voice. And now it's the same thing with All Might. He's the voice of All Might, and I can't hear All Might's like talking in any other like
I couldn't
way.
Wait. I absolutely had to watch the season 3 of My Hero, and it was weird. Yeah, it was so weird. Like I want people to watch season 3 because Bakugo finally like completes his transition into like the shonen rival, but at the same time I'm like, it's so weird. Like I don't know if you should.
It's hard to get used to it. I mean, I started watching a bit of it just because, like, I got to, like, a certain point. Like, I think I got through all the English ones, and then that was just, like, all sub. So I, like, watched it, but now I'm just kind of like, I'll bide my time until October just because, like, one, I'm lazy. And sometimes I feel like I'm missing the action while I'm reading. And I'm like, it's like sometimes it's hard. Like there's some shows that I can like watch and I'm like, oh yeah, I can read and watch this action. Like it's not that fast paced. And then like when they're fighting, I'm like, I missed a bunch of stuff because I got distracted by the fight scenes.
Yeah, no, I mean like, and it's like that, what is it? There's like a little meme and it's like somebody staring. It's like, it's an anime meme. And it's an anime character looking at another anime character's boobs, and it has like action, or like the subtitles is the face and action is over the boobs, and it's and I'm like, yep, that's what happens.
That is the meme. That is a perfect example. Oh my god, yes, I love it. I mean, like, which is funny because like when we watch live adaptations. Like I have to like rewind when we watch like Lupin for an example because like that was probably a live action adaptation where like I have to like read like go back, what did I miss, because I was distracted by like what was happening. Still great. But yeah. Do you guys have anything else you want to say about Dragon Ball Super Broly?
What didn't you like?
Oh, that's a good question. You go first.
I think the only thing that I was a little weird on, like the music was a little weird. I think that just comes from like the dub. Like I'm okay with like the dude chanting Gogeta in the background, like that stuff is fine. But there was like some points like where like the music was too loud for like, what was going on screen. I couldn't really see. And there's like obviously more to the movie because some of the cuts were kind of weird. Like Vegeta has his armor. Now he doesn't have his armor, which leads me to think that there's more like fight scenes out there. So when it gets eventually released on DVD, hopefully, I'm hoping that we get more.
Can it be 2 hours long? That'd be great.
Yeah, give me 2 hours long. Because I feel like some of the stuff was cut out, and I want to see what was cut out because I think it would have added to more beautiful fight scenes. But other than that, I thought everything else was pretty good. Yeah. All the retcon stuff I'm okay with. You know, the visuals were dope. But I just feel like there's some translation things from it coming from over there to over here that we're missing out on something weird is happening.
Yeah, I agree. For me, it was definitely there was slight moments, and I understand animation takes time and money, but it's like the 3D, like it's very like if you don't notice it if you're not paying attention to it. But, like, I notice it when then, like, you know, like, in some animations, they'll, like, use a 3D in place of, like, the animation.
Are you talking about, like, the opening when it has the CG ships and stuff like that?
No, it's, like, it was more so during the fight scenes. The ships, it didn't bother me. It's just, like, visually, it's, like, it took me out from, like, oh, it looks weird. But it's not, like, as bad as, like, you know, like, in Wonder Woman when they made her 3D and she was fighting. It's not that level, but it was just, like, it was, like, it was, like, maybe for a few quick seconds it happened. But it's just, like, something I've noticed now in more anime, where it's, like, they'll, like, add in this animation here is now done in 3D animation. And I'm just like, oh, that's so weird. But then it jumps right back into, like, how it was before. Like, I don't know exactly. I'm pretty sure I'm saying it right when it's called, like, 3D. I can't think of any other examples at the moment, but, like, I can think of a few of them where it's just, like, it takes me out of it for a second. But it's so minor. But it's still, like, something I've noticed where it's, like, I think it's really, like, to save time or, like, it's probably easier for them to animate if they use it in, like, a 3D software versus, like, drawing it. Fair.
I think I'm kind of in the same boat as Adrian, but a little different. Like, the music kind of took me out of it, especially the dude chanting Gogeta. Oh, my God. Because it was, like, all I could focus on. I was like, what's he saying? He's saying Gogeta. Why is he saying Gogeta over and over again? But it's really small. Like that, like overall, like I'd watch this movie 10 times again. Like it's really good.
I can't wait to buy it. And I'm actually gonna buy it on DVD.
Just for like the historicness of this, like the fact, like the historic piece of this movie, right? Broly, Dragon Ball Super Broly is the first anime movie to be released in IMAX, and it is
This was released. Why didn't we go see this in IMAX?
They don't have Adrian IMAX in Austin.
Oh, okay. I was like, did we mess up? Because let me go see it.
I thought that too.
I'm leaving.
But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure they don't have it in IMAX in Austin. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But it also is the largest release for an anime movie. It was released to 1,260 theaters across the U.S. and Canada. It made $7 million on its opening day, and it is actually poised to beat out the Japanese gross of the movie. And the Japanese gross of the movie was $33.3 million. As of right now, for the 6 days, it's projected to be $22.7 million in the States. And overall, the movie has grossed $88.6 million. And 74% of that is fueled by the international release. Yeah. Yeah.
Not bad. And that's great because that means one, I hope that translates over to us getting more releases. And I understand that we don't always get like the anime movies released in theaters. Like, was the My Hero Academy, I'm not going to mess it up. You know what I mean? My Hero Academia movie. Was that one, like, because I feel like there's people who saw it in the States, but it was a super limited release.
I don't remember.
Like, there was nowhere around me that was showing it.
Only, I thought it was only a release for, what do you call it? DVD. I could have sworn it was.
I know people seen it.
Domestic totals as
okay.
October 9th at 5 million, but I don't know. I mean, I didn't come here, or I would have went to go see it. Like,
but yeah, I just remember like in that I was like, well, shoot, I want to see it too. But it's kind of like one of those things where people don't think it'll like do well overseas, or like when I feel like I don't know if American studios have faced this as much as like maybe like Japanese studios do. Because maybe they don't think there's as much of like, I mean, there's obviously a fan base over
like
here,
they think
but maybe they don't think people will actually go to the movies.
It's more niche, right? It's like the same reason like Shape of Water was released in half of the theaters as like any other movie opening up when that did.
Right.
They just don't give. And you know, for all we know, maybe they're planning, because like the DVD for My Hero Academia 2 Heroes doesn't come out until March. So yeah.
Damn it.
So,
Sorry.
like, they probably, for all we know, they're maybe planning an international release, like, maybe closer will they run in theaters. Or at the very least, like, I do think that there are some theaters that want to put, like, that understand the money that anime makes, because Funimation does fan events and stuff for their stuff. Like, I know My Name was in theaters for, like, a week or something. Or Your Name, not My Name.
It was. And that's what, like...
yeah.
Your Name, yes. I remember that one. And I'm like... And that was great. And then I noticed with this one, like, I was so concerned, like, shoot, I gotta make sure, like, there's dates when I can go. Because at first I thought, like, oh, they're probably only gonna have it, like, there for 3 nights. Because whenever there's ever been, like, an anime movie in any of the theaters around me... it's probably like for 1 or 2 nights that week, and that's it.
The writer who wrote up the Super Brawly review for the site, it was only in San Francisco for 1 day.
Dang. See, and like at least when I looked and bought my ticket, it was actually here for at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I guess it's by market, or like the demand for the theaters. Like I guess what they want to pay you to have it to show it, but. I'm just impressed of like what it's done, but I do hope that translates to us like getting more of these coming overseas. Like, cause I will go. I will go as long as it's something I really want to see. Like if they got an Attack on Titan movie that they have been waiting to put out, that is, you know, like an animation, I'm gonna go see it. Or I don't know, whatever else they got over there, I'm ready to watch it. I'm just put it in my veins.
Yeah. Okay. So,
yeah.
Is that it? Are those all of our thoughts?
I think that's all my thoughts. I mean, I could talk about Chili and Brawley all day.
Someone's going to go home and write some fan fiction.
Oh, God. Don't judge me, but like as I left the movie, I immediately look at my phone like,
oh my God.
Chile.
I will have you know, I rewatched the first 4 episodes of Dragon Ball Super, so I just dove right back into that.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I'm finishing up, like I'm at the Tournament of Power.
It's also weird because like
just gonna,
and I may be wrong,
figured
but
why not.
Crunchyroll doesn't have the dub, so I'm watching it in sub, and I'm like, this is weird, and I don't like it, but I don't know where to watch the dub.
Funimation.
Yeah.
Funimation, you can go to Adult Swim app. You can watch that for free.
Yeah, that's where I watched. That's where I originally watched the dubs, because they had it like weekly. So it's like I was a kid again. I was watching weekly episodes of, you know, Dragon Ball.
And I think they at a certain number they have them. Like,
okay, so
I think like one, like they did a marathon most recently, and like that's how I watched the Tournament of Power.
Funimation now costs $5.99 a month. And I can start a free trial for a month. Can I get through all of Dragon Ball Super in a month?
Yeah, I mean, there's 130 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah. I got faith in you. I was just like doing the math. I'm like, yeah, I got faith in you. I mean, like, you're the type that plays anime while you're working. Like, in your ear. As long as you don't care to, like, watch it too much. Like, I think you'll be fine. Which reminds, I'm like, let me just like do that too on my long ass commute to work. I might just download Funimation also.
That's how I'm watching Hunter x Hunter every day on my commute.
Smart.
Oh, that's smart. I need to get on that.
But yeah, I think that's it. Adrian, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
No, thanks for
Yes.
inviting me. I had a lot of fun going to watch it with Kate, and I'm glad I got the opportunity to talk about it because I love Dragon Ball and all things Dragon Ball. That's not GT.
Yes.
And I just really enjoyed this movie, so I'm glad I went to go see it, and I didn't like put it off until I finished watching the show.
And why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, I mean, you can find me on Twitter at Superruiz93, SUPERRUIZ 93, and weekly on But Why Tho the podcast with Kate, talking about pop culture things.
And you can find our podcast, Did You Have To, on Twitter at DYHT_pod. Join our conversation, join our live tweets. Let us know what you want us to watch next because these choices are getting a little hard. Yeah,
I'm grounded still.
Grounded.
I'm sorry.
And make sure if you're listening right now, you take a minute to rate, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes or whatever app you're using. It helps everybody find us. And you can find me at OMammothRandier on Twitter.
And you can find me on Twitter also at LA_NEY_SHA.
You gotta do our Dragon Ball out.
Oh, dang it. Okay.
I'm like,
I
this
got
is the most appropriate episode to end our show the way we end our show.
I know. Oh, let's see if I can do it in one go. Okay. Will I still be a Brawly fangirl on the next episode?
Will LaNeysha write a Brawly and I can't say her name. Chile. Will LaNeysha write a Brawly x Chile fanfiction?
Will Adrian ever be our guest again? Find out next time on Did You Have To? Bye.